Hello all. I realized in doing my reviews of the various punk rock concerts I've seen that I didn't do the best one, and that is when I finally got to see the Sex Pistols in 2003. I was wearing that tour T-shirt in that other video, which is from that concert, which was at the Greek Theater in Los Angeles. It was with the original lineup of Johnny Rotten, Glenn Matlock on bass, Steve Jones on guitar, and Paul Cook on drums. And they did all of the songs from Mind the Bollocks plus No Fun by Iggy and the Stooges. I was hoping that they'd do my other favorite, Satellite, but which they did do on the previous tour a couple of times in the 1990s, but they didn't do that song. I don't know why I like that song so much. I love the lyric. I just remember when you look me in the eye. I just remember that I want to die. That's a great line. It's really Johnny at his snarky best, and one of the great punk anthems, in my opinion. It was the B-side to the 45 single of Holidays in the Sun, which is another one of my favorites. But I particularly like that song, and I was very sorry they didn't do it. The two opening bands were rather unusual in that one of them was punk and one of them wasn't. It was opened by initially Reverend Horton Heat, who was a psychobilly, guy, and he was good. I mean, I liked his songs. I always did, but I never considered him to be punk. And the second band was punk. That's the Irish band, the Dropkick Murphys, who I still like. They do sort of traditional Irish music, but with a punk overtone. Like I think they did a version of the Red Rover and There's Whiskey in the Jar, but they did them in hard rock, hardcore punk song. Like if Black Flag or the Circle Jerks did those songs, that's kind of the way that they would sound. I really enjoyed them, and so did my fiance who came with me at the time, former fiance, I should say. But the Pistols were great. Johnny was terrific. He was saying, can't clap too loud or it'll disturb the rich people. Things like that, because it's in a rich neighborhood of Los Angeles, so that the Greek Theater is located. And just some great stuff. He did Anarchy in the UK, and saying, I don't think Americans know really what anarchy means. Just going on and on. Really good. They played excellently, and I was really, really pleased with them because I never got to see them in their original incarnation on the original U.S. tour in 1978 with Sid Vicious. I was too young. I was kind of hoping that if they came to New York, I could maybe beg my parents for tickets, but to go see them, but which would have been about $3.50 at the time. But that never happened because they broke up after the San Francisco concert. And you can kind of see why if you look at the Winterland concert was filmed, and if you look at the film, you can see what the basic reason is. Despite promising not to, Malcolm supplied Sid Vicious with heroin, and Johnny is walking across the stage, and he finds this little silver foil packet on the floor and gives a disgusted look because that's where the heroin was stored. And Sid obviously shot up before he went on tour. That's why he was so crappy on the bass on that concert, and he didn't really seem to be trying to play. He mostly just kind of stood around and looked snarky, which I guess in some ways was one of the reasons that Malcolm replaced Matlock with Sid Vicious, is that not so much that he had the right sound, he had the right look. He didn't play well, but he looked perfect for the part, and acted that way too, even though unfortunately, his addiction to heroin would lead to his death nearly a year later. And of course the infamous alleged murder of his girlfriend Nancy Spungen, though I don't think he did it. I've looked at a lot of the evidence and heard a lot of the theories, and I think the person who did it was a guy who only went by the name of Rockets Red Glare. Nobody seems to know what his real name was. But he was a drug dealer. He came in and out of their apartment in the Chelsea with, alacrity. Apparently that they had an open door policy, and $25,000 was missing from their apartment after Nancy was stabbed. I don't think that would have been missing if Sid had done it. Also, people say he took 20 Tuanols. That should be enough to kill somebody. The fact that it didn't kill him is rather amazing, but I don't think he would have been in any shape to even have woken up before he got up the next morning and found her dead in the bathroom. But we'll never know, unfortunately, because he died of a heroin overdose, ironically administered by his mother on February 2nd, 1979. There's a good song about that by a group called The Maggots, called 2279, which talks about that. Yeah, anyway, I finally got to see the Sex Pistols, and they were fantastic. I was really excited on that night. It was really great, and I really, really enjoyed seeing them do all of their classic songs from Mind the Bollocks. Unfortunate that they really only did one album. I do not count the soundtrack for the Great Rock and Roll Swindle as an album. It's really just kind of an attempt by Malcolm to squeeze a few more cents out of us punk rock fans by including a few, extra tracks like Lonely Boy and Come On Everybody by Sid Vicious, and then something else, which really weren't part of the whole scene. They were just kind of one-offs. And I always thought that album was good. Was a bit of, Who Killed Bambi, which was kind of a stupid song. I thought it was just kind of, an attempt to, flog a dead horse, to use a term that was used on one of their other compilation albums. I think that's basically what Malcolm was doing, is flogging the dead horse. The Pistols had already broken up, but he wanted to squeeze a few more dollars out of it. So he made the film, which was really crappy, and the soundtrack, which is pretty pathetic as an attempt to make more money. There are better live shows and things after that are really more indicative of the Pistols' talent and their style, like some of the live albums, including I left the one from Chelmsford Prison where Johnny is goading the prisoners. Oh, you can't dance, you're all past it. I thought that was great. But anyway, I finally got to see him, and it was really, really enjoyable. Again, Greek Theater, Los Angeles, 2003.